Welcome, everyone. This is Pineleaf Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Andane,
Hey, everybody.
Terry Adwin,
Hi, hi.
Maven, Maven,
Oh, sorry. Hey, y'all.
Arether,
I was also muted, so thank you for being muted, because otherwise I would have been muted. Hi.
and Carvette.
At your service and your families.
And this week our big story is that we had a little bit of a shakeup and a slowdown, so to speak, as the game servers were moved over to New Jersey, and for a while the game got stuck on the turnpike.
Or somewhere,
There you
anyway.
go.
The game got stuck.
Who knows where it got
There you
stuck, but
go.
Got stuck somewhere.
And
Well, you know, I mean, considering you're talking about a major data move.
I think all the
I was
hamsters just got, like,
introduced
misplaced.
I
Well,
was very empathetic.
yeah,
After all the
considering it's
testing
like
they
this
did and
huge-
everything else, I mean, they did everything right, quote unquote, in terms of how to go about doing it, and to still have a problem. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh, poor turbine.
yeah, you do quite a bit of work on there, but there's always something on something
Yeah.
that is always missed, unfortunately.
But the good news is that
There's-
they're actually taking the time to optimize this, and so they might learn, like, even more ways to optimize the servers than they knew before, because they're actually taking time to focus on things. So hopefully it could, in theory, turn out to be even better.
Huh? That'd be good.
Well,
I know there's a few folks that are still having problems getting into the game.
Oh yeah, some people can't even get past the login screen, which is really bad.
yeah,
It's
I don't.
frustrating.
Because I know there was a big problem this morning, and I know there was a couple of days ago after the move, but yeah, I don't know what the issue is that some people are still having. Maybe the servers don't like them. Or I know that there are some characters that that have trouble because of where their character was logged off at. Apparently the new systems didn't like the locations or something like that. We can only hope this all fixed soon.
TM.
No, we don't want a TM soon.
We
want
really
we
don't.
want we want
an actual soon.
Yeah, a quicker soon.
We want a yesterday soon.
Yeah,
Want-
we want a media soon. Yes.
Yeah.
Done more quicklier.
Not more quickly.
Quicklier, yeah.
I have no idea if Turbine is off this Monday or not. So.
Well, they might have been off this Monday, but maybe they're not now. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, there is always that possible, and there is also the question of whether, or because I don't know how much of this is Turbine is working on, and how much of this the data center people are working on, and how much of it's their load. If it's an equal amount, if it's mostly data center, if it's mostly Turbine, or what.
Well,
That's-
a part of it is at least Turbine, based on
Yeah.
the forum posts, because they said that they had basically to update some code to make it more optimized to the new servers that
Yeah.
apparently they didn't have to do for Bulwer, but they had to do for some of the servers that they moved over to. So I don't know why that's the case, but Turbine knows and they're taking care of it. So
I guess
That's
you got a
good.
point. Well, if it's anything that affects the client software, then yeah, that's definitely Turbine side.
yeah, but it's weird that on Bulwer they didn't have to do this code change, and yet they're having to do that on the live servers. I don't know
Well,
what
that-
would be different.
There are always some weird differences with Bulwer. That's
Yeah.
So basically, to sum up, long-term goodness, short-term funkiness.
Yeah, that's what it pretty much comes
Yeah.
down to. We expect maybe a little bit of a rough ride for this next week, and hopefully after that things will settle down. Actually, I've sometimes either noticed things be very, very rough or smoother than they were on the old server.
Yeah, there are times where it's very, very smooth and you can tell a difference that this is new server stuff. There's other
Right.
times where it's like way
Just
like the hamster died and like they're trying to resuscitate it and it's just this horrible situation going on in the back end of the servers. But
I was in the moors Wednesday, and it was virtually unplayable. People were literally just standing there, groups of like a group of freeps and a group of creeps, just looking at each other because we knew we couldn't fight because we started fighting it lagged. It was just like, hey,
Damn it.
what's up? That's about it.
It's Ruga. I shoot you with my eye glare. No lag.
well, you could think of it as the threat part of the battle, where you threaten and posture each other before you actually go and start fighting.
Yeah, it was the fireworks part of the battle.
Yes. Yeah, I have a feeling, yes, the Moors is always the trickiest bit, I suspect. Well then, is there anything at least on sale that's wonderful to take our mind off of all this?
nope.
No. Free sample this week is a simple rally horn. Use coupon code that you can find in the show notes.
Squonk.
And 25% off a bunch of legendary junk. Legendary level cap increase, legendary item stat upgrade, and relic packs. The stuff that you should never ever spend turbine points for. Because there's better ways to get that stuff. I mean, I could see if it was
Unless
like
you've got a lot of turbine points,
even if you have a lot of turbine points, there's better stuff to spend your turbine points on. I'm sorry.
like cosmetics, right?
What if you
'Cause-
like bought all the stuff that you wanted to get with
Because
your
let's
turbine
look at
points?
those
Then you could like
Those,
just
those,
freely
those
TP whatever.
points are going to be going down, guys, and the no,
Good
no.
words.
Please don't spend your turbine points on this junk. Because maybe if nobody buys the stuff that's on sale, Turbine will figure out that it's crappy stuff to keep putting on sale.
So basically, the sale has been downgraded from meh to blah.
If I remember correctly, the graphic on the article this week said just say no.
Yes. Drac and I are in full agreement on this sale. It's please don't spend your turbine points on this. Really. There's better ways to get this stuff.
Way better ways to get this stuff.
Then let's head into the site news, and we'll begin with the community events for January 15th through 21st. And the highlight for this week, of course, is Winter Stock 3. And that's been going on for a couple of days, and it will continue until Monday.
Through Monday.
Yeah, through Monday. And I was a participant in 2 of the concerts today, so I've been there. I don't know if anyone else had a chance to listen to any of the pieces this week.
I was, my tradition with the winter stock / weather stock is either to podcast about it or watch someone else's podcast about it and stream about it. So today was streaming while cleaning the office. And I'll tell you what, it's really cool to watch a concert series on a frozen pond. I mean, I'm sure that the participant had a nice time. And, a lot of them were just shivering with anticipation at what the next number was going to bring.
Was it intended that they were having an ice time?
It was very intended.
I'm sure that was.
I mean, it gave me chills watching it. It really did.
Yes. I know that Lily Kate, when she was prepping everyone for the costumes, said, yes, make sure you wear your boots. Now remember, she plays a hobbit here. It says, we don't want anyone to freeze on
Zero deaths at Winterstock since yesterday.
Yes. Let's then head into the poll. Unless anyone has any other community events.
I was going to say, hang on, Pineleaf. I actually picked a random one here that actually is surprisingly good. I just picked one random, and I'm really excited about this one actually after seeing it. Concerning Hobbits Pub Party, and this is going to be taking place on Landerville at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Server Time, and the location is the Bird and Baby and Michael Delving in the Shire, of course. And the description for this is: these weekly parties feature games, music, pies, light RP, prizes, and fireworks. Party games include the bad joke contest, riddle game, hide a hobbit, and more.
Yeah, I've also seen them play drunken backwards walking.
Hide a hobbit sounds like it requires like a body bag or something.
We've
I
got one.
actually noticed that there's an event coming up on Laurelin next Saturday, so January 23rd at 2:30 p.m. server time, 7:30 UK time. They're doing a grand angling contest on the Laurelin server, so lots of fishing.
Cool.
If you're into fishing, you can look this up and go to fishing.
Sounds fishy to me.
Yeah.
Elves in the chat says you didn't need at least half a body bag.
Ouch.
Maybe just a burlap sack.
Now we head to the poll.
That's probably a good idea, Pineleaf. And this poll has been the consistently closest poll we have had ever in the history of LOTRO players. Earlier today, it was actually tied between the first and second answers still.
Yeah,
And
when I
it had
put the
been,
link in there, it was tied.
yeah, it has been tied on and off throughout. And it actually has had an answer pull ahead so far with 2 extra votes. So, the top, basically, this week's poll is: have you hunted roving threats in Eriador? And so this does not mean, hunted anywhere. This is particularly back in the level 1 to 50 area in Eriador. And I guess in Adwythe, but I don't think they have any there. Anyway, the top answer is yes, with 46%, 82 votes. The next answer is no, with 45%, 80 votes. So literally 2 votes between those two. And then finally, what are roving threats with 8%, 15 votes?
My favorite comment is Tim's on this. No, but I've been hunted by roving threats in Eriador.
Well, yeah, there is that where
Eriador
you
ones,
run
it's
into one.
probably more common to have been hunted by them than to hunt them. Because he's right, Anonymous has one right in the worst spot for the common passerby. There's one right on the road, and it passed right back and forth. And
I've
it's
snuck by that one on more than one occasion.
and it's typically the troll who has a bunch of ads, so you have to give it a really wide berth.
Oh, see, I always run into that Agmarm dude with his 2 sidekick buddies.
Steve and Steve.
Yeah. My other favorite is that one out in the middle of the pond in Agmar that we made fun of.
Oh, the sleeping one.
Yeah, the sleepy one. He
Yeah.
doesn't wake up unless you trigger him, and he doesn't trigger even if you stand.
Oh,
on
he
his
was fun.
face. Yeah.
Right, then let's head into Lotro Academy, episode 114, Lotro goals for 2016.
Yeah, this was fun. Everybody except finally failed. Well, and me, because I wasn't on the show last year, so I didn't have
Right.
any goals to fail at.
Well, yeah, there were a few goals that were that ran a little short.
This episode is worth listening to because it's the first one that has the new format, because we have a new format, and it's also where we talk about the fact that we're going to have a live episode.
Ooh.
Coming up at the end of the month.
I don't think I've ever made goals for Lotro. I think that would involve, I would be too pressured for that. Level Addicts Wednesdays, I've been going on that thing for forever. And my minstrel is still way too far from 100. I'm never gonna finish this thing, especially gonna up the level cap right as I get them all up there. Do one level away from finishing and then boop. Nope.
That's an extra 20 more levels.
Yeah.
Or more. Actually, what? 50 levels?
I doubt I will ever finish, but I can't imagine trying to make a yearly goal for Lotro. I don't even make yearly goals for my life. New Year's resolutions. I did that a few times, and then it was and then that stopped.
Yeah, little goals. I'm going to get to the end of this quest pack, or I'm going to get to finish this tier of crafting. That's about as far as I go. and then I get distracted by an alt, and then I'm like, ooh, new shiny over here.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can only deal with short-term goals, and my short-term goals usually get set aside by what I feel like doing on any given day.
Yep, exactly. Hey, you know what? If goal setting is fun for you, set goals. If
Yeah.
spontaneous play is fun for you, don't set goals. It's all good. Just enjoy the game.
But
Yeah.
listen to the podcast anyway, because it's kind of funny listening to Drac and Mist go back and forth.
Oh
If
yeah.
you like setting goals, listen to the podcast to get some ideas. If you don't like setting goals, listen to the podcast to make fun of people who set goals.
It's a win-win.
All right, well, then let's head into Lotro video highlights. The end.
Dun dun dun.
Wow,
Is
that
this the end now of Lotro fan videos? Only Andang's article on the site, you know. Open your eyes. I'm out of lyrics right
so as
now.
fun as it would be to continue to listen to that
Well,
song.
yeah, might be best to stop that parody now before it gets too far.
I have been
Go for
doing
it.
LOTRO video highlights for 2 years now, and it's been a lot of fun. I've done an obnoxious amount of research. It's been a ton of work. But there have been some amazing videos that I've found through doing this series, and people have sent some in, and I've found new LOTRO YouTubers, and it's just been, a really good experience all around. And it's sad to see, it coming to an end. I put in like a chart to show how many videos per year, and also had some interesting videos that I had found that never made it into the LOTRO video highlights. But I can't have a LOTRO video highlights article without having videos in it, so I put these here. And
The
you'll just have
honorable
to watch them to
mentions.
see what they are. But
Oh,
they're
including the Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, I see why he was singing that thing to Bohemian
yeah,
Rhapsody.
Yeah,
you
see, I knew what I was doing there.
I
Yeah.
saw this one when it came out.
you may or may not have nightmares after watching those videos, but
It's clever, I will say that. I like the Lotro fan film orcs. I still refer to that on occasion because it makes me laugh.
And next week, I will actually be having the top 25 LOTRO videos of all time, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, this was a nice little conclusion to my LOTRO video highlights article series. So if you're interested, check it out.
Then let's head into the Tales of the Free Folk, Episode 9, Prologue.
Which is awesome.
History lesson time.
Yeah.
Totally.
And these are actually going to be the format of how the prologues will be for at least a bit moving forward, where they will be kind of going into some backstory. And basically, he's trying to make it to where you can read these articles and not miss anything from the Tales of the Free Folk stuff necessarily, and also you can watch Tales of the Free Folk without feeling you're missing anything from not reading these. So he's trying to
And if
make
we
that
read them, we
distinction
kind
a
of
bit
get an
more.
idea of where we're going next, right?
Exactly. And so it provides nice context to the world
Wait,
and
wait,
what's
wait.
going on. And
That will depend on players cooperating, and
that is
any
true as well.
GM knows.
That's true.
But he's kind of dropping hints as to what we could see happen, and also if we don't go to places, what could happen if we don't go there.
Hmm.
Well, I will say it's a really cool backstory.
It is, definitely.
And the family line hits part 75. Wow.
Yeah.
Friend of Birds. Oh, that sounds like a nice lore master title.
Sounds like there's a wizard afoot.
A wizard? Ah,
Or it could be was an old guy who just looks old and smart and stuff. I don't know.
this guy who looks old and smart and stuff.
You never know.
Or it could be Rook.
Well, yeah. I went looking for him the other day when I was cruising around snowboarding. I couldn't find him. I know he's in that swamp there somewhere, isn't he? Or did they take him out?
Yeah, he's in the swamp.
He's in a
Yeah.
swamp.
Okay. I was totally looking for him. A wretched falconer. No!
No,
I'm so sick of
Wretched
wretched
Falconer.
falconers. Oh
No.
my gosh. He's definitely wretched.
Yes. And next we have the Ninny Hammers perform the Genie.
Which was great. Also, my SoundCloud is working again.
Yay.
So, I was actually able to watch it in the article. Yay!
All right. And A Critter's Journey Part 6. My Kingdom for a Chicken Pen.
Chicken pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Do
like,
you want to keep the chickens in or the wolves out?
I was thinking more like, how would a chicken write with that? Is it something they can clutch with their talons?
Oh, good.
Or is it like the chicken is mightier than the quill? I totally went completely different direction with that.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. See,
Crickets.
yeah, seeing how a chicken is covered with pens.
Yeah.
Well, then chickens just need to write it down. Then they've got plenty of writing implements.
Yeah, but nobody can read their handwriting. It's all just chicken scratch.
Yeah, well, there is that. So let's head into our weekend Lotro then. Where this week we'll go through our highlight for the week, and we'll begin with Aerithard. What did you do this week?
Not a lot, but a couple things were fun. I hit 80 on my Ministrel finally, which was fun. So my time of only healing is at an end. I shall be continuing questing, starting on Wednesday again. So that'll be fun to get back to actual questing and not just healing groups. It was fun, and I learned a lot, and I got to be a better healer. But I kind of miss like Middle Earth.
I'm blowing stuff up.
Well, yeah, blowing stuff up for sure, but also like actually seeing the landscape. I miss it because I'm in Rohan too, and it's so beautiful. So that's one thing. I'm kind of cheating too because my work exploded. It was
Now,
weird.
how did your work explode? Too much chili?
I was in the moors on my work, obviously. I mapped to good Tirith raw map, and I like started running towards another point on the map, and suddenly, in the middle of nowhere, my work died. Incapacitated by misadventure. In just a random spot.
Ooh, I heard that there
Wow.
was like invisible walls of death in the moors. That
Yeah,
must
it
have
was
been
like an
what you ran
invisible wall
into.
of death. Like on the way to for those who know, like the crossroads near, like halfway between Good TR and Good TA. It was really bizarre. Like I was about halfway there and just
Ouch.
dead warg. It was weird.
This is Vashta Narada.
It's actually somewhat hilarious. But it was weird.
That's funny.
Andy, what'd you do?
Yes, well, I actually leveled through Moria, and I hadn't actually played through most of Moria since the revamp. I had played parts here and there just to kind of get a sample of what they had done. And I have to say, I enjoy Moria now a lot more than I think I ever have. The way that things flow, and keep in mind, I'm not doing the epic story, I'm just doing side quests in Moria.
Isn't it
And
awesome?
it flows amazingly well. It is awesome. They did a great job with it. I think that part of the reason why I wasn't so sure about it before was because I was also doing the epic story, which has you go all over the place still.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I think I would like to see a revamp to the epic story, not a major one. I'd still like to be going around a bit, but it would be nice to be not going back and forth to the same spot again and again and again.
Well, I think what would help on the epic storyline is if the landscape quests and the epic story quests were in sync with each other, as opposed to leading you in opposite ways sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is definitely gonna need to be tweaked because it's almost like you don't want to even do the epic until you've done the landscape or vice versa.
Well, I
Well, and
try
yeah,
to do
used
them as close
to-
together as possible because I've found an optimal way to do it, but it's
Well,
still
used
not
to,
perfect.
you could do the landscape with the epic a lot more effectively, whereas now the epic just seems very out of place in the current way Moria works.
No, they've always been out of sync.
Well, they have, but at least there was like running back and forth still, and you could kind of like pick up quests here and there. But now it's just like really nice flow on the side quests, but the epic needs some work, I think.
It's fun, but it's a lot of riding goats.
What's wrong with that, dwarf?
Unless you're a hunter.
Unless you're a hunter, in which case you just port back to the 21st Hall every third or fourth quest.
Well,
Which
you
is
got to
awesome
remember,
when you're doing
yeah, but you don't get that till you're level 56.
Well, I know.
Becca and I are going through Moria, and it's actually been really pleasant. We're doing every single quest we can find, and it's nice, especially because one of us set our campfire to the Silvertine loads, which is
Heck
one of the
yes.
spots that you keep going back
That's
to. In
the best thing you can do for yourself in Moria as a hunter. Campfire and the Silvertine loads, and then you get to return to the 21st Hall skill, or the guide to 21st Hall, and that will save you
What a
so
thing.
much time.
Yeah.
So much time. The other trick is if you're like way down in the fiery deeps and you don't have the like you're down at Orc Watch of the Fiery Deeps and you don't have any of those campfire port type deals, you get on the rental horse and you ride up to the water halls and you jump off at the water halls and you take the quick goat from there back to the 21st. Save yourself a good 5 minutes.
Hall
So-
of flowing water.
That's the one. There, right there. You can't see it, but I'm totally pointing at the mic as if you were. Yeah, that's it.
I get it. I get it. I do the same thing.
Heck yeah.
So anyway, Maven, what have you been up to?
My week was just filled with Minas Tirith hijinks, both on Landreval when I could get into it and I wasn't lagging, and also on Bull Roarer. I have rep with Minas Tirith now, and I've been doing the dailies north-south Ramas stuff and picking up really fun ad hoc fellowships. It's really fun to go in there. But my big fun was on Bull Roarer, throwing a chicken off the prow. It's one of the new quests.
Brew
It's
a
awesome.
chicken? You threw a
Yeah.
chicken?
It's one of the new quests, and it's two guys have a bet going that if you throw, one says if you throw a chicken off, he'll plummet to his death, and the other guy says, oh no, the air drafts will make the chicken, float. So they ask you to grab a chicken and run up and throw it off, and then you got to go down and see what happens to the chicken.
That's awesome.
Then you got to go back and report back to two guys.
Interesting. I just
Hilarious.
wonder.
It was a
Yeah.
riot. It was so funny.
I wonder what would really happen to a chicken if it fell such a great distance.
I don't know. I'm
Depending
just
whether
glad
its
they didn't
wings were
say
clipped
jump
or what.
after it. You know.
You've got to use your GoPro and check his fall as he goes down.
And by the way, there's so many deeds now in Minas Tirith. There are king plaques everywhere. You click on all the plaques and you click on all these locations. And Andang, there's now a deed for find all 13 taverns in Minas Tirith.
Awesome.
Which means they added
they've
some
added
because
some.
there were 11 when we did our pub crawl.
And they added one called the Laughing Halfling, which I was talking to the Academy about that yesterday. And I'm like, that doesn't quite work because I don't think they're supposed to know about halflings. Yet they have a Laughing Halfling.
Oh,
And they've got
legendary,
the
right?
entrances are like the archways and the walls at Oatbarton. So it's like it's definitely hobbity and it's stone walls. So this isn't something that just got like thrown up when Peregrine hit town.
And they didn't even
You
call
know.
him. I mean, they called him a halfling, but they called him like the Perianath.
Perianath, yeah. So I'm like, okay, but it's cute. It's cute. I mean, it's cute. So I'll forgive Turbine, but I'm kind of like, guys, come on. Anyway, so yeah, it was a great Minas Tirith week for Glordriel and Maven on Bull Roarer.
That's fantastic.
Who's next? Carvette.
I'm next. Hi. Yes, my Hobbit Inope felt his first real pains as a free-to-play player working on his Evendim triathlon this morning.
What's
Run.
the evident triathlon?
Oh, run, ride, swim. So
And swim.
yes,
and
and
swim.
swim, and swim, and
Yes.
swim some
Necessarily
more.
in that
Because like
order.
at the moment, I'm working on both the Riddle quest, the Blade That Was Broken quest, and the rest of the quests in Evendim, and I've just come to the part where they all kind of intermingle around the north and the west shore. So it's like you got to go to Osferod and talk to this guy, and you got to go to Tinudir and talk to that guy, and then you got to go to the Even Rills on the other side of the lake and talk to that guy, and you got to come back to Rantost and talk to those beat up all those bringing dudes, and so it's like swim, swim. Look, still swimming, swimming some more. So I'm like, because he's a free to play character, he doesn't have the swift boats, so it's just swimming. And it's like everywhere else I've been playing this character, it really hasn't been that big a deal because I'm working on Slayer deeds as I'm running from place to place, so I'm always doing something and killing stuff and just gathering loot and whatever. But there's nothing to kill in the middle of the lake. There
You
isn't
can
like a fish slayer deed. I mean, you
Oh
just
well.
kind of swim.
you can
And
actually you can work on class deeds during that time, believe it or not. If you haven't already gotten like your heal skill one, just switch to blue line and spam soliloquies
Oh
as you
yeah,
go.
yeah. I kind of already
Things
did
like
that though.
things
The
like
one,
switch to yellow as
yeah.
soon as you have enough points. I don't think you have enough points at that
wait,
point, but
are
switch to
you
yellow
saying
and do
that
Song
those
of Aid, things like that.
Huh?
are you saying
Yeah.
those boats require VIP?
The boats require VIP. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I never knew that.
They either require
Also,
VIP or you got to have that super fancy ride token that unlocks the different routes when you
Right. Okay.
like. And so I'm thinking what I may do is like go level up a TP burner character, and then open up the box and then rifle all his stuff and send the ride token over to InoPay next time I play, so I can just zip across the lake.
How is that? How's the ride token bound?
It's not.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
if it is, it's by account.
It's
So
bound to account, I think.
yeah, but
Okay.
you can totally stockpile those bad boys when you're like running through TP burner characters. So what I tend to do is I'll stockpile that stuff and stick it into either A, shared storage, or B, just mail it off to the character I'm keeping on that server, and then you'll have like a small stack of those writ of special passages, and then you can use them for those painful things like Angmar and Evendim and other places.
also in addition, like if you do go into your deed log and you check out the ones that you can do on the run out of combat, uh,
Hmm.
that's like really helpful. Also, jumping while you swim does make you
Yeah,
go
it
faster.
does make you go faster because you
Does
get a
make you
little
go
bit of
faster.
air time. I was doing that about halfway through when I was like, okay, this is like the third time across the lake. Spam, 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 spam. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and then
I've
it's
used
like
all. Yeah, exactly.
as you're swimming. Yeah.
Yeah, I used all my soliloquy deed. I think is good, but it's my that other one, bolster. What the other one? Not bolster. Anyway, it's the ones you have to
Oh,
induct.
raise the spirit. Yeah,
That's the one. Yeah.
that's an annoying one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they're talking about like all these tricks to make my free to play account VIP for all the unlocks, and I'm like, that's great, but the whole point of this is to be pure free to play, which means I can't
Yeah.
even use turbine point codes because it'll switch me to a premium status. So it's like my challenge completionist character. Hence the name I know pay. All right, Terry Edwin, you're next.
Okay, so remember we talked about LOTRO Academy's goals for 2016? I've already completed one that I set for
Da, da, da,
myself.
da.
Glad and
Nice.
Terry Adwin was level 95 yesterday, and now she's level 100.
Gladden server, best server.
We're glad you came.
Not giving up my Landreval, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Because I had been going through and I finished volume 1 and I opened up volume 2 and I broke the game, and so super awesome in the midst of all of this mess with the servers. They're still taking time to fix the other stuff that sort of gets broken. With Blessing of the Valor, if you didn't already open Moria, you might kind of break it. Yeah, that happened. So, and then the super boosted XP weekend for VIPs happened, and I was like, oh, no,
Oh yeah,
I'm not
what's
gonna
going
do
on
it.
this weekend?
No, I'm not gonna do it. Yes, I'm gonna do it. Like, it's really tempting to go level to 100, but I really don't want to do it. And then I went ahead and did it anyway. So I started volume 4, and it's now the challenge is going to be to find a stopping point in Gondor so I can go back and do volume 2 and 3 before I pick up 4 again. Because yeah.
But if I remember correctly, the second half of that particular goal was to go to the moors.
Yes.
So did you go yet, or is that still? Well, you've got 11 months still to go before you go there, of
11
course.
months still to go to the moors, but so I've completed the first half.
Okay.
Probably will wind up in the moors within the month, I would imagine. Still working on gearing her up because she's only just gotten to level 100.
Ah, yes, of
She
course.
goes
Yes,
to most
that's a very
camps,
important
she's still
thing.
got all the level
You don't
95.
want to go there and die 50 times in the first 10
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
I do that when I go to the Moors anyway, so it's not a goal.
Yeah,
That's
so
just a
you're
fact of
gonna
life.
die in the moors no matter what's going on.
Yeah,
That's just kind of like my
I just don't
existence.
want to go splat because she's still got the level 95 gear that she got from the Blessing of the Valor upgrade. So I would at least like to get her some level 100 gear before I take her out there. And she
Oh,
goes,
Believe it or not,
ish.
the um what is it, Audacity gear, even with nothing in it, is actually quite respectable. And you probably would be able to earn commendations for it on your warg and stuff over there. So you might look into that and just getting the Audacity gear. And
Can we share accommodations between our creeps and
yes,
our freeps?
Yeah,
commendations you earn on your creep do count
accommodations
on your
are
creep.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes,
they're
that.
shared on the account. Yeah.
yeah, and
Okay.
it's easier. It is easier to get them on creep than freep. The
All
quests
right.
on the creep, if memory serves, give less infamy, more commendations, and it's vice versa on freep.
So Pine Leaf, what'd you do?
on Brandywine, I reached level 68 with my warden there, and I resumed the epic storyline, doing the parts where you're going through the history of Gondor and then heading up into the parts that take you through Eregion. And I also decided to finally settle down on the server. This is a character that originally came from Nimberdale and transferred over to Brandywine, and I decided to settle down and purchase a pair of houses there. And I was surprised how easy it was because I had a particular pair of houses I wanted to get, one personal and one kin, and I was very much surprised that the first neighborhood I checked had them both there because I was expecting Brandywine. I'm never going to find a house there, right? Simplest house hunt I ever had on any server.
Well, luckily there have been people requesting on the forums for them to add housing neighborhoods to certain
Yeah,
servers, so you got
that
lucky.
certainly helped.
Yeah, that does help.
And because okay, now I know some people don't like standard houses, so I could see one chalk road being available, despite the fact that I consider it to be in one of the best positions of any standard house. But two chalk road, I thought that kinships would grab that one very quickly. So I was very much surprised that was open. And I like those two houses. In fact, that's the pair I use on all my servers. So that is it for our week in Lotro. So let's then head into our close. We currently have 20 supporters on Patreon. And if you would like to join us for this illustrious rate of players to help support Lotro players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest host with us here on Lotro Players News. And how far are we from the next goal?
Yes, well, we are $25 away from a LOTRO 1-year VIP code giveaway. So that reward is still out there, and we're $25 away. So getting there.
Very well, then. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to email us, you can send it to podcast@lotroplayers.com. You can also follow us at Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, Lotro Players @LotroPlayers, Andang @PVNP_Andang, Aerithert @Aerithert, Corvette @CorvetteLP, Maven @TolkienMaven, Pineleaf @PineleafNews, and Terry Adwin @TerryAdwin. The Players Alliance has 5 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News. Every other Thursday at 9 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have XP Quest. Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lotro Players News. Every other Saturday after Lotro Players News, we have Tales of the Free Folk. And on the last Friday of each month at 8:30 p.m., we have Lotro Academy, where we will have our monthly live show. And you can join us for our live shows at lotroplayers.com/live. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This is Pineleaf News reminding you to skirmish responsibly.